So give yourselves all a big clap. I'm sure it's in no small measure because of the popularity generated by Ramesh from his earlier sessions and are expanding into the Book My Show and online media to get more people across. So thank you very much all for coming. For those who are coming for the first time, we conduct this session once a month, first Sunday of the month, 12 noon, here, courtesy Mehdi, who gives us all the facilities. And we cover each time one aspect of jazz. Jazz, as you know, is an anthology with the richest record of recorded music, as well as the least known and also fairly complex. So we feel this is an ideal subject for us to talk about, to let you know all about its different subgenres and also its influences on other art forms. So we pick up one subject at a time, and sometimes we even have live performance to illustrate the content. Now, last time, for those who weren't here the previous time, Ramesh had conducted the session on the influence of jazz on Bollywood music. And we found there is so much content of jazz on Bollywood music that he had to extend it to the second section. Now in that first session, he spoke about Anthony Gonsalves, who was the person who introduced Western music concepts into Indian film music, which paved the way for jazz to enter subsequently. So now Anthony Gonsalves was a genius of not just a violinist but a composer and an arranger who knew both art forms, the Indian classical music and Western classical music. And he assembled in St. Xavier's College in the year is not known, in 1958, one of the biggest, most diverse, perhaps the richest in music, I would dare to say worldwide, in 58. Very, very sadly, this event has not been written about, not been talked about. Unfortunately, we don't look at our cultural heritage closely enough to be able to preserve it. So even the date of this is not known. What is known is what I'm going to show you. And I got this from the producer of a film called Bombay Velvet, which Ramesh is going to talk about. I got it from him. Now this is the orchestra which he has assembled. You can see the crowd there, over 70 or 80 people, maybe more than that, which we'll count when we go into the next picture, which comprises a chorale, Western instruments of every description. It has Indian instruments, and they're all playing Anthony Gonsalves compositions, which are a synthesis of Western and Indian music. Let's go to the next picture. Now see the members of the orchestra. There are 30 violins. 30 violins. He used to divide them in 3 sections of 3, 10 each. And for those expanded, Kevin, yeah, a little less. Now if you see the violin list, you'll find quite a few familiar names. For those, Pyare Lal, then below there is Sebastian D'Souza, who later became a very famous arranger for Shankar Jaikishan. And on cello you have Luis Correa, who played for, and Sequeira, who played for R.D. Burman. And Manori Singh on flute, who later became, Ramesh is going to talk about him. Further down, 2 clarinet players, Dennis Vaz, who played in a lot of the Hindi films. There are on trumpet, Chick Chocolate, a very famous guy whom Ramesh talked about, and Peter Monserrate, who was the father of the Monserrate brothers, 5 brothers who all played for R.D. Burman and were also superb jazz musicians. Then we go, Bonnie Costa, whose guitar is found in a lot of the Hindi films, and Crasto, which is actually Hannibal Crasto, who also played for R.D. Burman. Now you go down to the mandolins, you have Lakshmikant, known to all, Ram Narayan, who was also one of the great musicians. All right, then we go to the right. All those names there are all choral singers, choral singers. So you can see the expanse of sorry, I didn't cover percussion. Kersey Lord, whom again Ramesh talked about, Maruti Rao, Lucilla Pacheco, pianist in most of the songs. Yeah, and those people on the right, mix of ladies and gents, all together. I think the singers are about 30. So 30 violins, 30 singers, 60 plus another 30, over 100. And as I said, music which combined Indian and Western classical. So to my mind, this is a world record. And as I said, very sadly, not enough is known about it. And this is what paved, this was the entry point for jazz to enter Indian film music in a big way, which Ramesh will talk about more. Okay, let's go to the third slide, which is about Anthony Gonzalez. I can, for those who are interested, I can post this on the group and you cannot download it. The more this spreads, the better it is, because as I said, there's no forum anywhere which is collecting these gems of our historic culture. No forum. All right. And the last page.
Actually, there was
yeah, that's it.
There was one. There's one place called Swar Alap, which we used to work. Was run by a person called Dinesh Bhate. Unfortunately, he passed away very young, 51, 52 years old, and he had conducted one complete evening where Anthony Gonzalez was interviewed. It was not well. Anthony Gonzalez was not well, so he couldn't really contribute much, but that was like a sort of acknowledgement of what he had done. So there is some stuff about him in the website called swaralap.com. You can check it out. And where I had also written some stuff on, not on Anthony Gonzalez, but on other guitarists and so on.
Yeah, those are enthusiasts who got together.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's no research organization
That's right.
which has bothered to do this,
Unfortunately.
like you have in other countries.
Yeah.
Okay, just see the next picture. Next one. Next. Oh. Yeah, that is the group which played on Aayega Aane Wala.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's right.
This one too. Next. The last. Okay, that's it. Right. So I thought I'll expose this to you, which has all those great musicians playing, which later became music directors in Hindi films. So now over to you, Ramesh.
Thank you, Ashwin, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again. As Ashwin rightly said, the amount of stuff that I dug out from various over the years has it became so much that it has now gone into 2 parts. So last part, I'll not waste any more time on this. Last part, what we saw was how a little bit about the history of jazz, how jazz came to India in the wake of World War II, and what you can see is that how it came into Hindi film music courtesy Anthony Gonzalez, about whom Ashwin just spoke about, and also various other arrangers who were all there. And one of the last part, a sizable portion of the program was devoted to C. Ramchandra, who was there in the last photo. Basically because in the 50s, in fact I should say late 40s, because his first song, I'm sure everyone knows here the song Meri Jaan Sunday Ke Sunday. So Sunday Ke Sunday is not a jazz song, so let me be very clear, but it has got jazz elements in it, and it is one of the earliest uses of saxophone, and that too alto saxophone. Okay, so all that put together, and then C. Ramchandra was the only Hindi film music director who consistently used jazz elements in his songs. Almost all the great hits like Kore Kore, O Baake Chore, then you have Ye Khilti Kali Koi Le, and there was one movie called Shin Shina Ki Bobla Boo, which title song I had played last time. It was really surprising because the title song was Chin China Ki Bobla Boo. So there is a sort of a blues infusion. It's not the blues, but some sort of a blues kind of feeling, which is, and it is sung by Lata Mangeshkar. So those are the kind of small surprising things which I brought out in my last presentation on February, exactly 1 month ago. And then, like I said, consistently only C. Ramchandra used. There were others, maybe one song here, one song there, and so on and so forth. Beyond that, not much. So C. Ramchandra was, I would say, the first generation of a music director who consistently used jazz. And of course, the second generation, starting from the 1960s, is one and only R.D. Burman. Because why I say one and only? Because you will see that today the amount of audios and videos that I have, if I just sit here, if I just stand here doing nothing, the show will run to 2.5 hours. That much is the amount of work he has done infusing jazz elements. So please, once again, I request your indulgence. Some songs I will not play, most songs I will not play full, but the thumb rule is that there are songs which are or tracks which are 2 minutes and less. I'll play them full, okay? So we come now to the second part today. As I said last time, 1960s per se, worldwide it was a sort of a rock and roll, rhythm and blues was the thing to do. And a lot of Indian music directors did that also, like Shankar Jayakishan, Lakshmikant Pyarelal. Those people who are coming up, like Shankar Jayakishan was already well established. But Lakshmikant Pyarelal, Kalyan Ji, all the new music directors who came up in the 1960s, they mostly gravitated towards rock and roll and rhythm and blues. But R.D. Pancham, we use these names interchangeably. So he was the only person who consistently used jazz elements in his thing. We'll see how. So he started in, his first film was Chote Nawab. There's no jazz there, but there is definitely some other elements. But before that, I know all the familiar faces over here. So who's coming here for the first time? First ever? Oh wow, quite a few. And any of you listen to jazz as such, or this is like again, okay, 1, 2, 3, not more. Okay, so whatever I say is jazz. Those who are totally new, please take it is jazz. Okay, and I'm sure you will find those others who are already experts and who know their jazz. I'm sure you will find the jazz elements very, very clear in most of the songs and tracks that I'm going to play. So R.D. was like, I think the best description is by musicologist Ashok Ranade. Ashok Ranade said every element, every sound in the universe, R.D. wanted to capture it and use it. So that's why you will see growls. There is one song, there is a joke that somebody, tapped. Arey kaisa hai? Okay, he tapped on the back of some other person. So I said, hey, hang on, keep on tapping this guy. I will use that song. Okay, so it is like that. So he was, and that is very true. Every song he wanted to use, and everyone knows his famous growl. Everyone knows that. That's actually inspired by Louis Armstrong, with whom we will close today's session. Okay, and you will see why it became like that, because he has infused jazz, flamenco, rhythm and blues, but mostly he has used big band jazz. Big band jazz is what was, what you see in the earlier slide. Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Benny Goodman. These are all the people who regularly use big band jazz, and you can hear the loud, bold sound. It's mostly a brassy sound. A lot of brass instruments in that, like trombone, trumpet, and all. But all the same, the sound, even though it is bold, it's not overpowering. It's very clear and crisp. So let's listen to one of the background tracks in this film called Bhoot Bangla. Background is like this. These two guys have gone to the Bhoot Bangla. I played this track last time, but I'm playing it again just as a sort of setting the atmosphere, if you want to say so. So this is like they have gone to the Bhoot Bangla and confronted by all sorts of sounds and skeletons moving around and so on and so forth. So and this is R.D. himself singing the song. Double bass. So could you hear the blues phrasing of na 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 na? Small blues tinge. I wouldn't totally say blues, but then you have big band, there is a swing, all sorts of things packed into a nice Indian masala. Okay, and this is an Indian masala which we want to kind of dissect a little bit. And dissecting is dissecting, but that doesn't mean that you should not enjoy it further. Okay, so we'll go through that. Now RD is one of the, so there is always, whenever there is any discussion of RD Burman, there is always an elephant in the room. Okay, now let me be very straight. As far as I am concerned, RD Burman is RD Burman, SD Burman is SD Burman, baap baap hai, beta beta hai. Okay, but there are a lot of fan fights on both sides, like this guy stole from that guy stole from here and all that, which is all absolute rubbish. Because over the years, if you see, these pictures tell the story. I mean, he learned literally under his father's feet. This is, I think, probably he's 17 or 18 or something, or some such age. And here he is assisting him, like giving background. And this is a song, recording of the song of the film Prem Pujari. Prem Pujari is 1970. Okay, so he has assisted over the years and he has been credited also. Now, two credits I'll show. This is Solva Saal, 1958. Everyone, I'm sure people know the famous track. Hai apna dil. So there is that harmonica. That's played by Pancham. Everyone knows that. So he has assisted, he is credited. And then there is this film. This is from Teen Devia. Again, you see that Basu and Manohari. Now this is a thing, Basu Manohari assisted both the father and the son. Okay, so but they molded the instruments and everything as per the individual requirements. SD Burman was a minimalist, he didn't want too much of instruments. RD Burman was a maximalist, he wanted lots of instruments. So let's move on with that. Having said this, SD Burman was expert at identifying USPs and who is doing what, and what is the best way to make utilization of any person's skills. So Jewel Thief is 1967. I think it's one of the most modern. When I say modern, I mean even if you see it today, it seems very contemporary. You will not feel rather, that this is a film made in 1967, except for a couple of minor things like people still talk on the phones, okay? So except for that fact, you will not feel that this is a very old film, quotes, 60-year-old film. It's very contemporary. The plot is very sophisticated, and it's like, it's like that they are all looking for a jewel thief whose face resembles that of the hero Devana. So there is the hunt going on, and it's like literally like I would say like a Hitchcock film. There are clues. So the clues are being followed by Devanand the hero, and then finally, of course, the end is revealed to be something else. So Jewel Thief being such a, shall we say, very sophisticated, mystery film, mystery story, it needed some kind of deft touch. So SD was very clear. You are my assistant, Vasu Manohari will conduct the orchestra, Jo karna hai karo, sort of. So you have all the people who are later on associated with R.D. Burman, like Kersey Lord, and these are not, I'm not making things out of the air. I have spoken to the people, Kersey Lord, Homi Mulan and all, I have spoken to them. They remember the session, yes, I played here, and so on and so forth. So let's look at the first thing, first track.